Louisiana's rich delta land, highway beautification has been a reality for the past 8 years. Privately owned plantation turn roads have been beautified to invite travelers to pause, to enjoy picnics with the family, to watch the beauty of spring, summer, and fall unfold in flowers, shrubs, and trees. The plantation owners who plant these turn rows on their expansive farmlands say that the spots were formerly only weed patches. Planting the highway plots on the privately owned land is a cooperative community effort of planters, businessmen, garden club women, and other groups. Guiding spirit of the project is Ed MacDonald of Newellton, who contacts businessmen, city officials, and civic groups, persuading them to plant superior bulbs and trees. From experience gained in their own gardens, many of the planters' wives, like Mrs. Ed MacDonald, give advice and help in the beautification project. An outstanding citizen planter and businessman, W. Burnside, and his wife support the program. They've given 1,000 rose bushes for planting along the highway. Mr. Ed calls in experts from the Netherlands to help select the best varieties of tulips and other bulbs. Louisiana State University horticulturists advise on local conditions of soil and climate. The sturdy young plants grow profusely in their beds along the Great River Road. By Easter week, highway plots are blossoming on the newly plowed plantation lands and drawing thousands of visitors. From the air, it seems as if the plots are vying with each other to see which can draw the biggest crowds. Plantation owners who donate their land and community workers who cooperate in planting the highway plots feel a soaring sense of pride and happiness in their accomplishment. Cars from a surrounding four-state area crowd the highway during Easter week when the tulip beds turn this Tensas Parish stretch of the Great River Road into a bit of old Holland. Most spectacular of all the turn row plantings is that of Ed MacDonald's Verona plantation, on which he has built an authentically scaled Dutch windmill, just to make the tulips feel at home, he says. "6,000 visitors registered on Easter Day alone, more tourists than Tensas Parish once saw in a whole year." The crowds love it all, including Mr. Ed's grandchildren who were clad in authentic Dutch costumes for the occasion. Later, Newellton Garden Club members meet with Mr. Ed to review pictures of the early spring plantings. The highway plot of the Newellton Garden Club. The colorful bed of the local business. The golden yellows planted by a utility company. And the rhythmic rows of reds, purples, yellows, and whites at Mr. Ed's Verona plantation. The spring season is declared a spectacular success. Choosing to concentrate on summer shrubs and flowers, W. Burnside and his son Frank plan additional plots for their Franklin plantation along the highway. Summertime travelers on the Great River Road can enjoy the beauty of trees, flowers, and shrubs on plantation turn rows traveling north from Newellton to Tallulah. On the lush delta landscape, cotton and wheat fields unfold a carpet of green between the highway plots. Community workers say that a total of 70 plots have been landscaped in privately owned lands at the expense of plantation owners and local community groups. At Panola Plantation Limited, the office staff gathers around a model of the plantation to plan their highway plots for the seasons to come. while travelers along the Great River Road enjoy the summer plots already planted on Panola turn roads. Builders of the Louisiana Highway Beautification Project know that tourists are attracted by historic relics, like the big bronze bell on Balmoral Plantation, typical of many such beautiful bells throughout the plantation country, and by the Balmoral Indian mounds, subject of a study by a Harvard University archaeological team, which estimates them to be 1,200 years old. Just a mile off the river road blossoms one of the region's newest tourist attractions, Louisiana Dutch Gardens. Opened in 1965 by Ed MacDonald of Newellton, these unique gardens are a natural outgrowth of interest shown by visitors in the imported tulips and nearby highway beautification plots, as well as many authentic features of a real Dutch landscape. Acres of anemones, ranunculus, and imported tulip bulbs make a colorful display for travelers who are intrigued by this bit of old Holland on the flat Louisiana Delta lands. Emphasizing the international flavor is the popular Young Ambassador program, in which Mr. Ed entertains exchange students from the Netherlands and makes them honorary citizens of Louisiana Dutch Gardens. As the seasons change, exotic bulbs are replaced with brilliant beds of summer flowers, which seem equally at home with the big windmill. Back on the Great River Road, travelers by car and by bus continue to enjoy beauties of the rich Delta region and the landscape rest areas along the way. On Somerset Plantation, owner Jack Mabry and his daughter like to show their summer landscaping to guests. On this plot flies Old Glory, symbol of the nation's new interest in preserving its natural beauties and its historical monuments. Later, at another of the 3 highway plots in Somerset Plantation, guests may review the story told by one of the many historic markers which grace this section of the River Road. The story of Somerset's former owner, John Perkins, whose 17,000-acre plantation played a dramatic role in Civil War campaigns of the region. Northward, the Great River Road swings through miles of rich farmlands, leaving Tensas Parish to enter Madison Parish, and finally reaching the charming little city of Tallulah and its tranquil bayou with banks planted in flowers and shrubs. City officials of Tallulah have sponsored the beautification program here, among them Mayor W.P. Sevier, Chief Deputy R.R. Mitchell, and Chief of Police James Logan. Like other River Road people, they're proud of their individual projects, but they want something more, something better, a unified program in which they can join hands with neighbors to make theirs the most beautiful stretch of highway in America. There is such a plan. Civic leaders are at work right now on details. Their goal is to landscape 80 miles of the Great River Road from the Tensas Parish line in the south to the Arkansas line in the north, through a region rich in Louisiana history and legend. Vacationing Americans on the Great River Road may visit Waterproof, the historic plantation town through which 19th century pioneers moved their covered wagons westward on the old Texas road. St. Joseph, one-time booming Mississippi River port, now being restored to its 19th century glory. Lake Bruin State Park, paradise for fishermen, swimmers, and skiers. Winter Quarters Plantation, landmark on Grant's historic march on Vicksburg. Lake St. Joseph, where La Salle first sighted the Tensas Indian villages in 1682. The beautifully landscaped turn roads near Newellton, and Louisiana Dutch Gardens for which they provided the inspiration. Up through Grant's March country, already marked with distinctive Louisiana state markers. To the west, a magnificent game preserve, one of the nation's last remaining wildernesses, where President Teddy Roosevelt hunted bear in 1907, and where wild turkey and deer await fortunate hunters today. To Tallulah, queen of the cotton country for over a century. Northward on the great river road through a land which De Soto explored in 1542. And where prehistoric Indians built Poverty Point mounds 800 years before Christ, the oldest known civilization in North America. And so to Lake Providence, one of Louisiana's most beautiful little cities. In formulating their plans for the future, civic leaders marked the locations of privately owned plots near Newellton, on plantations of Ruthwood, Verona, Franklin, Panola, and Somerset. And 19 miles northward, the community landscape plots on bayou banks of Tallulah. Already there are some 70 plots planted. There remain about 70 miles of Louisiana's great river road yet to be landscaped. How will it be accomplished? Those community workers who already have given so much in money, time, and energy on the local level are hoping now to get cooperation from state and federal sources so that Louisiana's great river road can be transformed into 80 miles of beauty and can become a landmark in a nation awakened by its president's call to new concepts of beauty along its highway.